Run it back nation. I need your help today. I need your help on this one, man. I need your help on this one, man. Because I'm confused. I'm confused. All right. The Sixers squeak out a win last night against the Charlotte Hornets in one of the worst basketball games I've ever watched. And I'm confused. Because this team is not good. This roster's not good enough. Everybody should know that by now. And then Joel Embiid gets hurt again, and then Jared McCain tears his meniscus. And yeah, it was great to see Tyrese Maxey's shot fall, and he gave you 40, which was, it was really 34, and they fouled him 3 times at the end of the game because the Hornets wouldn't accept the fact that the game was over, which was just annoying and weird because the game just wouldn't end. But good game for Tyrese Maxey. Paul George had his shot fall, and so it was good to see him get in the 30 column. But I'm watching these games at this point basically like as a joke almost, or not expecting anything, because it doesn't matter if you beat the Charlotte Hornets with LaMelo Ball and a minutes restriction. The Charlotte Hornets are one of the worst teams I've ever watched play basketball. They just throw the ball around the perimeter, chuck fadeaway one-footed threes in the corner, and don't play any defense. It just doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. So I'm at the point now where, yeah, they won. Yeah, there's some good things to take away. But I was kind of laughing the whole game because I'm seeing like lineups of Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon again. I'm seeing Yabusele get smoked. I'm seeing what the hell, man? Center, Andre Drummond. Too early, bro. Too early. It's 11 p.m. It's 11 a.m. I'm seeing a lot of bad basketball on both ends. And I guess I could chalk this up to people that are actually watching the whole game and people who are not. Because I go on Twitter and I see things like the Sixers have won 5 out of 7 games. With like, people are celebrating this. I'm like, did you guys really watch it? Were you guys really watching it? I'm just confused because I watched it and I've been watching it. It hasn't been fun to watch for a long time. And there's people excited about it. I will say this, at least you held on and won the game, right? I said going into that Hornets game, I was like, listen, if Embiid's only going to be out for a week and the Sixers blow out this team, I will start to change the way that I feel about this team as a whole a little bit. If you put the smackdown on the Charlotte Hornets and blow them out of the building, I would start to maybe feel a little bit differently. But you didn't do that. You had a 21-point lead again. I put a poll in the live chat. Will the Sixers win by 20 plus? Will they blow the lead and squeak away with a victory, or will they blow the lead and lose the game? They blew the lead like they always do. They had a 21-point lead on the Charlotte Hornets, and they just couldn't put them to bed. They blew the entire lead in the second half like they always do. Rebounding, defense, transition defense, turnovers turning into fast breaks. It was a series in the third quarter, or maybe beginning of the fourth, where we were up by, I think they had it down to 17. And we had 3 or 4 turnovers in a row that turned into, and one mixtape highlights for the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball throwing one-handed no-look alley-oops to Miles Bridges across the baseline. Hornets announcers are screaming and celebrating. It was an absolute disaster once again, which was what confuses me about people celebrating this win. It was a disaster of a basketball game. Again. And I think it's because I came into this season with some expectations, and now I'm watching my favorite basketball team go toe-to-toe with the worst teams in the league. That's not good. I don't want to watch the Sixers go toe-to-toe with the Charlotte Hornets, who are not trying to win. You understand what I'm saying here? So I start seeing, Sixers won 5 out of 7, whatever. And so I posted a little tweet, and I just want you guys to see the replies to this, man. You guys are so delusional, I feel bad for you. Sixers won 5 out of 7. The Detroit Pistons, the Charlotte Hornets without LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and some others last week, 2 weeks ago. The Orlando Magic without Paolo, the Chicago Bulls at 1 p.m. on a Sunday, and the Charlotte Hornets again with LaMelo coming back from injury and on a minutes restriction. And I'm not saying, in the beginning of the season, we were losing these games. So we're a little bit better than we were in the beginning of the season, but you needed 40 from Maxey and 38 from Paul George. The rest of the team was awful, horrendous, terrible, embarrassingly bad. Oubre gave you 19 because he has a chip on his shoulder going back and playing the Charlotte Hornets. But it feels fake to me. And the 5 out of 7, guess who the other 2 teams were? The only decent teams we played in that stretch, the Rockets and the Pacers, and they were both double-digit losses. This is not, you guys aren't being serious, right? Look at the replies, man. So much negativity, man. Take a break from the Sixers. We'll take it from here. Imagine watching a team every day and still complain when they win. Just quit your channel then, my guy. There's people saying that I'm too negative, and I guess I should be celebrating wins like this. It feels fake to me is what I'm saying. So when I'm watching a game like that and I see Maxey, draining threes, I'm happy that he got his shot back, but I'm watching the intangibles of the game. I'm watching the team collapse from the inside out again in the third and the fourth quarter. And I'm watching the Hornets go on an N1 mixtape run and start just throwing the ball behind their back and through their legs and over their head. And I'm feeling embarrassment for the Sixers. So then when they squeak out a win like that on some super hot shooting by 2 guys, it feels fake to me. Am I wrong for that? Somebody tell me in the chat, please. Tell me in the comments. Am I wrong for that? It feels fake to me. It's not real. You ever watch the movie Wolf of Wall Street? It's fugazi. It's not fucking real. It's pixie dust. It doesn't exist. That's how I feel, watching a game like this. And now, like there's a couple of things that I guess can back up the way that I feel, and it was easy to predict. If you go to the team stats on a game like this, and you see 20 turnovers, and count them, 60 points in the paint to the Charlotte Hornets, bro. We're talking about Nick Richards and a guy named Moussa Diabate. I watched the 76ers give up 60 points in the paint. And I'm supposed to be like, a win is a win, and they won 5 out of 7. And here's the thing, man. You guys are getting duped, bro. You're getting duped because you're listening to the Sixers broadcast. You're listening to all this bullshit. You're listening to Kate Scott and Al Abdenabi say things like, this is a good sign. This is a step in the right direction. Shut up. Stop it, bro. Nobody's buying this. Nobody's buying this. I think I'm frustrated when they squeak out a win like this because they need to accept their fate, bro. They need to accept that this is going nowhere, and they need to tank. They need to tank, bro. They need to. There's no point. What is your expectation with this? Somebody tell me. To get into the playoffs in a play-in tournament and play Boston in the first round and get smoked? I just don't get it. Now, Joel Embiid with the sinus fracture. Keith Pompey reported that he will be reevaluated in approximately 1 week. Jared McCain could come back with a partially torn meniscus. He could have surgery and return in like February or something. But Nick Nurse doesn't want to play him as a lead guard anyway because he's a rookie and Nick Nurse hates young players. Nick Nurse would rather play Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon and Reggie Jackson. If Joel Embiid comes back in a week and he looks like he looked against the Chicago Bulls, which it's just the Chicago Bulls, bro. But the only way I'm going to start to change my tune and feel good about what the Sixers are doing is if Joel Embiid does come back And he looks like he did against the Chicago Bulls. It's the only way. Because outside of that, who cares? Who cares? Maxey and PG had a hot shooting night. That's dope. That's cool. I'm glad they did that, and maybe moving forward, Tyrese Maxey will get his game back and start to shoot more consistently like he has the past couple of seasons. And maybe Paul George will stop being, the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris's. But even going off against the Charlotte Hornets, I get, Tobias Harris versus the Mavericks 2 years ago where he dropped 30, and I'm getting all these Tobias Harris apology forums on the internet. I just refuse to be as delusional as you guys. Not you guys. You guys that listen to me on here, you guys vibe with me. That's why you keep watching these videos. That's why we got members and we got community in the chat. You guys understand me. That's why I talk to you. My biggest problem, I think, is that I'm on Twitter. And I'm getting these responses from probably 14-year-old kids who didn't really watch the game. And so I got to get off of there. This is a bad roster. And if you need Maxey and PG to combine for 80 points to beat the Charlotte Hornets, it's like you survived a small tornado, right? But the hurricane is on its way. You guys fall for this every time, man. You survived a little tornado, but the hurricane is on its way. You're going to celebrate beating 5 of the worst teams in the league with injuries. The wrath is coming. But it's easy for you because you'll just stop watching it because you're not a sicko. I have a serious medical condition, and I can't stop watching Sixers games. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to say, man. We don't have another game until Friday. And guess what? It's the Charlotte fucking Hornets again. Why we play the Charlotte Hornets 20 times in 22 games? I'm just here for the vibes. RJ, I'm just here for the vibes. Love you guys. See you soon.